Trader Life Simulator is an indie simulation game that was developed and published by Mohamed Kastroui on February 22, 2021. The game can be played as a single player only, and you can buy it for $20 on Steam. Build your own supermarket, manage economics, buy and sell over 100 different products, and invest in companies to make your own successful story. My name is ICOnlyBlue and I'm a survival game expert. I do educational survival reviews by analyzing and explaining in depth game mechanics and ideologies. A review key was gifted to me by the developer, but that won't have any effect into the review. In order to make this video, I had to advance into the final stage of the game, buy all of the available upgrades and utilize all of the different features to the best of my abilities, all within 46 hours. Although this game is not your traditional survival game, I am pretty confident that my background holds a lot of value. I was always interested into simulation games, and moving forward more will be reviewed. With no more delays, let's begin with the menu settings. Continue takes you to your last save. New game deletes your current playthrough, and easy mode increases your profit by 10 times more. Under settings, you have the option to select one of the 10 available languages, change your graphical settings using presets, play at a resolution that your monitor doesn't support, set your frames at 144 maximum, control your FOV and mouse sensitivity, and finally disable the rain. The current available settings are laughable, and it's even worse considering that the game is fully launched. Not having customizable graphical settings, not being able to change your keybinds to your preferences, not understanding that Hertz and FPS are two completely different things, not having a window with your different save files, not having any audio sliders, and spending maximum 1 day making your menu settings sets the rating extremely low. Overall, a 1 out of 10 for the menu settings. You are a supermarket owner with $600 in your name. Somehow, you have your own supermarket, but there is no explanation how you managed to do so. You are set to buy products from the local stores and resell them in your own supermarket. There is no secret lore or any dialogue with anyone else introducing you to the game. You would expect a cinematic at the beginning of the game, taking you through previous events, leading you towards owning a supermarket, or just an introduction text setting up the mood of your entire playthrough. Whoa. Take the car and go to your shop. Okay. You can invest your profits into 2 different companies, and most importantly, you can buy your own farm. Not only you are the supermarket owner, you also know about stocks and farming animals. Even for a fully launched game, the current stage of the game feels like an asset placement without any real explanation of what is going on around. Overall, a 0 out of 10 story. The game begins with you being in an empty customizable house with the tutorial telling you to take your car and go to your shop. The tutorial will guide you through the basic mechanics of the game, but there is no way to read them again in case if you forget them. By using a JPEG image, you will arrive to the center of the town, where identical NPCs will often jump in an unrealistic way. You will need to buy a phone that will allow you to see the amount of animals you have in your farm and your daily income and cost. You can take notes or pay a taxi to teleport you to different locations, repair, refill and tow your vehicles, see your missing products that customers are asking, and finally see your total rating based on the customer's demand. This is a great incentive to have product variation instead of product quantities. Having a rating above 50% allows you to buy and sell electronics which are more expensive and way more profitable. After that, you need to buy a laptop that you can place in your house or your store. Using the laptop, you can see your daily income and the customer's complaints, but unfortunately it doesn't keep track of the previous days, so you cannot compare your sales and act accordingly. The shop upgrades allows you to sell infinite products, which is a great way to make passive income with 0 additional costs. They don't need any maintenance and they are placed automatically outside of the shop and on the desk. You can manually manually save the game or wait for the autosave. Change the name and the color of the sign outside of your shop, enable to open or close your store, and pay your electrical bill automatically. Hire a second cashier, buy the farm, and finally expand your store. The TV located above the cashier can be used as a browser, and the computer for ordering products from Jabber with $10 fees. All of the prices fluctuate, so it is smarter to buy them when the prices are good instead of high. Unfortunately, there is no indicators telling you how much a product is selling for before the customer buys it. You can buy vegetables, meat, electronics, and general supplies that you can display and sell in your store. Furniture such as display stands and house furniture can be found in these two stores that will allow you to place your products in an organized way. It is not a requirement, but for roleplay reasons we do it anyways. You begin with a yellow card that you can carry few boxes, and as you make more money you can buy a pickup car, a truck, a scooter, and finally a sports car. Each have their own positives and negatives, like driving better or carrying more items. Your entire playthrough consists of you waking up in the morning, driving to your local shops to buy products, load them in your vehicle, take them to your shop, and spend your entire day placing items in the shelves. Most importantly, you need to take care of your toilet breaks, your hygiene, and your hunger. A toilet and a shower can be placed in your house, but if you are tired of constantly going back and forth, then just do all of your duties right behind your shop. Your negligence to take care of yourself can cause sickness that you can cure at the pharmacy. The supermarket comes with few starting stands and a step card, but you can also buy a dolly from the tool shop. The bank allows you to fund your bank account and credit card, and the ATM to withdraw if needed. Purchasing products using the delivery or paying your electricity requires your credit card, but paying your employees can be done only through your bank account. Investing into the two companies give you daily income, but since the game gives me no information about where my money is going, I cannot be certain. Wait, by financial token exporting company? Oh. Your vehicles need maintenance, such as refilling gasoline, changing oils, and repairing at these three locations. The only thing left is the farm, which I am scratching my head to understand why a supermarket owner also has a farm. You can buy chickens, sheep, and cows that will earn daily passive income. You can buy walls, door frames, and doors that will allow you to customize your house and your shop. Placing a wall and aligning it perfectly is near impossible, so I end up ignoring my house completely, and I avoided to truly customize my store to my liking. With that being said, this is pretty much the entire game. There is no crafting or creating a unique recipe, neither anything special other than flipping products. I would love to be able to create my own sauce, yogurt, or ice cream since I have my own animals, but that might go too far outside of the concept of the game. Your character animation could be considered flowy, where jumping feels like launching yourself to the sky. You can do about 1,000 squats per second, and if any of your conditions get to 95%, you will be walking like a grandma. The head bobbing was reasonably good, but my biggest complaint was driving. I was flipping periodically. The turning felt like I was driving a bus, and stopping the car usually didn't end well. The scooter was even worse, which if you think about it, it should have been the best one. Lastly, I want to address the horrible optimization after you start adding products in your shelves. The more you add, the worse it becomes. Man, I cannot. It's triggering me, dude. Every 3 seconds, man. Stuttering. More stuff. I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna be stuttering. Jesus Christ, man. The constant stuttering made it unplayable, but if restocking was using an item grid, that was going to speed up the process and definitely help with the overall performance. The fact that restocking took so long forced me to spam my shelves with products in order to keep up with the demand, causing the performance to suffer greatly. Overall, a 4 out of 10 gameplay. Graphically, the game doesn't look that bad. The environment was realistic, the houses was well made but blank, the trees look like asset placement, but the actual textures of pretty much everything was reasonably well. There is also rain in the game, which makes everything more moody without taking away the purity of the game. Looking at all of the products on the shelves was really enjoyable, but my only issue was the unplayable anti-aliasing which made everything flicker. That was definitely a game breaking for me, and the fact that the game doesn't have customizable graphical settings sets the expectation for future solution extremely low. Overall, a 6 out of 10 graphics. Exploring the game was very linear. Other than the points of interest we mentioned earlier, the rest of them was gated behind mountains and invisible walls. Most of the stores were empty and there was no point to even explore. If you had all of the stores next to each other, it wouldn't change anything. Since vehicles were added into the game, then we had to validate their existence by creating a simple and small map. If 10 seconds of driving was too much, then you could always use the taxi for instant teleportation. Overall, a 0 out of 10 for exploration. Since you don't have any audio sliders, that means the developer was responsible to satisfy everyone's ears by setting all of the different audios to the right level. For the most part, everything was pretty good, but the constant notification sound, the eerie cashier, and the 5 seconds of background sound didn't fit my high expectations. My goodness, these notifications. Every 3 seconds there is a notification. Look! There is no available music, barely any background effects, monotone and repetitive animals, unbearable bottle sounds, and as for the rest of the sound effects, was pretty mediocre. The fuck? There's a zoo inside here. Overall, a 5 out of 10 sounds. When it comes to the replayability of the game, there is nothing else left behind. Once you buy all of the available upgrades, customize your house and your store to your liking, you pretty much done it all. You could continue receiving the maximum passive income while constantly restocking your shelves with the same products. The entire progression of the game needs a complete redesign. If I was the developer, I would have divided the progression into different stages. Stage 1, for example, will allow you to sell vegetables only until you can unlock the second stage that will allow you to sell few general supplies. The fact that you start with everything available to you makes the entire progression meaningless, with your only threshold to get 50% reputation in order to sell electronics. If someone wants to play the game again and repeat the same content, we could give him a bonus passive income to make the entire process even better. This is a technique used by mobile applications that could easily be integrated into the game to add more value. This is not the best solution, but definitely the easiest one. Overall, a 3 out of 10 replayability value. Trader Life Simulator is an interesting game in its own way. You could easily do few changes into the fundamentals of the game and truly create something amazing, but at the current stage of the game, it feels more like an early access than a finished product. Although the systems are there and they are working well, it felt so poorly made. I know for a fact this game was made in less than a year. Everything in the game are assets, and if we take a look at previous games from Mohammed, we could easily see the similarities between each other. It is commonly known that these type of games don't take themselves seriously. Reuse of the same assets with the only difference the title and the theme of the game. I advise the developer to add a grid system for restocking the shelves and snapping points while building or placing items in the ground. That means he actually needs to create a new system. Although in theory sounds like a common sense, in reality it makes more sense to him to make a new game than actually create a new mechanic. A lot of updates make it into the game, and I have to admire the community for helping to shape the game to what we see today. It was a fun game to play, but the constant stuttering and the terrible anti-aliasing made me wanted to quit the game so many times. You cannot sell this game for $20 and not expect someone to give you a reality check. That concludes my review for Traitor Life Simulator, a pretty fun game that felt like a demo. At the current stage of the game, I cannot recommend it for the asking price. Keep your standards up and let's find the next garbage. Agree or disagree? Let me know down below. Thank you very much for watching, I appreciate that, and if you want to see my playthroughs live, make sure to follow ICOnlyBlue on YouTube, Twitch and DLive where I multi-stream. Other than that, I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye!